What if the body already knows when the end is near? Not with sirens, not with pain, but with quiet shifts, barely noticeable at first. A change in sleep, a forgotten meal, a soft withdrawal from life's conversations. Could your body, or someone you love, be giving gentle clues that time is growing short? These aren't symptoms doctors always catch. They're not dramatic cries for help. They're subtle signs, often misread as just old age, until it's too late. In this video, we'll explore 5 powerful end-of-life signals that seniors often show in their final year, backed by observation, compassion, and medical insight. And sign number 3? Most families miss it completely until it becomes heartbreakingly clear. Every senior story is different. Some drift gently with time to say goodbye. Others fade suddenly, and families are left wondering, did we miss something? Take 2 friends, Robert and Elias. Robert's family noticed when he stopped attending weekly dinners, when his favorite jazz no longer brought a smile. They leaned in, asked questions, brought in care early. Elias? He seemed fine until the final month. He brushed off changes and his family never saw it coming. This video isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to give you insight and peace of mind. Because when you understand the subtle signs, you have the chance to act, to connect, to support, and sometimes to say the things that matter most. By the end of this video, you'll know what subtle changes may suggest the final chapter is near, how to respond with love and dignity, and how to make the most of the time that remains. Before we dive in, if this message resonates with you, hit subscribe and comment, "I'm listening." Let's walk through this gently, together. Sign 1. Unexplained withdrawal from loved ones. It often begins quietly. A missed phone call, a canceled family dinner, a once social person slowly retreating, not just from activity but from connection itself. At first, it might seem like just needing rest. But for some seniors, emotional or social withdrawal can be a powerful signal that something deeper is shifting. Take Grace, 84. She loved Sunday lunches with her grandchildren. Every week her stories filled the room. But one month she started declining the invites. She said she was just tired, then stopped answering the phone. By the time her daughter insisted on checking in, Grace had lost weight, seemed distant, and barely made eye contact. A doctor's visit later confirmed it. Grace's body was entering its final stages, quietly shutting down while her spirit followed suit. Why it happens? As people approach the end of life, their focus often turns inward. The body conserves energy. The mind may begin to detach from day-to-day demands. In some cases, this withdrawal may even be a subconscious process of letting go, a psychological and emotional shift toward peace. But withdrawal can also signal depression, cognitive decline, or undiagnosed medical issues. That's why it should never be ignored. What to watch for? No longer initiating contact, skipping events or social rituals they once loved, a sudden lack of interest in conversation, news, or hobbies, withdrawing even when physically well. Gentle action step. If you notice this change in someone you love, respond with curiosity, not pressure. Instead of saying, "Why are you being distant?" try, "I've missed you lately. How have you been feeling inside?" Offer connection without agenda, a short visit, a shared meal, or simply sitting together in silence. Sometimes the most healing presence is just being there. Sign 2. Rapid physical decline without major illness. Not all declines come with diagnosis. In fact, one of the most overlooked signs that a senior may be in their final year is a sudden weakening of the body without any clear medical explanation. Let's talk about Joseph, 86. He'd always been fairly independent, able to walk, garden, and even drive short distances. But over just a few months, his balance worsened. His legs felt heavy. He started using walls for support, stopped taking daily walks, and needed help getting out of chairs. His doctor ran blood work, checked his heart, lungs, and medications. Nothing major showed up. Just old age, they said. But his daughter, Rachel, sensed more. What Joseph was experiencing wasn't just aging, it was his body entering a phase of systemic fatigue. Why it happens? In the final year of life, many seniors experience what's called functional decline, a gradual breakdown in strength, coordination, and mobility. This isn't always tied to disease. It's often accumulative, where on the body's systems, muscles lose tone, nerves slow down, the heart and lungs conserve energy. The body prioritizes rest over movement. Can come on quickly or seem like a slow fading. What to watch for? Needing help with once easy tasks like dressing, bathing, or walking short distances. A noticeable slowness in everyday movements. Frequent sitting or lying down during the day. Falling or increased fear of falling. Difficulty holding utensils or maintaining posture. Even without illness, these may point to a body preparing to slow permanently. Gentle action step. Don't rush in to fix everything. Instead, ensure safety, remove fall risks, add support rails, and encourage mobility aids if needed. Focus on comfort, not performance. Would it help to rest here? Is more loving than, why aren't you walking today? Encourage light movement when possible, just enough to keep circulation flowing. Above all, understand this. Slowing down isn't failure. It's often the body's way of easing into a quieter chapter. And when met with patience, it can be peaceful, not scary. Sign 3. Sudden change in sleeping patterns. Sleep is a window into the soul, and sometimes into the final chapters of life. One of the most commonly missed signs that a senior may be in their last year is a drastic shift in sleep habits, often mistaken for just getting older. Let's meet Linda, 88. She had always been an early riser, up with the sun, enjoying her tea by 7 a.m. But recently she started sleeping through the morning and staying awake until 2 or 3 a.m. Or she'd nap for hours in the afternoon, then lie awake all night. Some days she said she felt like night and day had flipped. Her daughter brushed it off. Mom's always been a light sleeper. But the truth was Linda's internal clock was changing, just like the rest of her body. Why it happens? As we age, our circadian rhythm, the natural cycle that regulates sleep, hormones, and energy, begins to shift. This is normal. But in the final stages of life, that rhythm can become completely disrupted. The body may sleep in short bursts, become restless at night, feel sleepy during the day, or experience something called terminal restlessness, a subtle biological winding down process. These changes are often not caused by anxiety or discomfort alone, but by the body preparing itself for less activity, less awareness, and eventually letting go. What to watch for? Sleeping far more or far less than usual. Restlessness at night paired with long daytime naps. Confusion about time. Is it morning already? A reverse sleep-wake cycle. More vivid dreams or talking in sleep. These changes may appear weeks or even months before other symptoms. Gentle action step. Create a soft sleep environment. Dim the lights in the evening. Play calming music. Keep the room cool and quiet. Avoid caffeine or heavy meals late in the day. Most importantly, don't force a strict schedule. Instead, gently support their natural rhythm. Say things like, "It's okay to rest now. I'm here. Would you like some soft music while you nap?" This small compassion can bring comfort, even when the clock no longer matters. Sign 4. A shift in appetite or interest in food. It's something we rarely question, until it disappears. The joy of eating. The simple act of sharing a meal. One of the most telling signs that a senior may be in their final year is a noticeable drop in appetite or interest in food, especially when it seems to happen without a medical cause. Take Eleanor, 89. She used to love her morning toast with butter and a glass of orange juice. Dinner was her favorite time of day, a ritual filled with warm plates and family stories. But one fall, her daughter noticed the change. Eleanor would take a few bites, then leave the rest. She said everything tasted bland. She stopped asking what was for dinner. She didn't even seem to notice when her favorite stew was on the table. Why it happens? In the final stages of life, the body's energy needs decline. Organs slow down. Digestion becomes more effortful. The body naturally begins to conserve resources, and eating becomes less of a priority. Sometimes food even causes discomfort. And for many, the sense of taste and smell fades, making meals feel meaningless or even unpleasant. This isn't just about picky eating. It's a biological signpost. What to watch for? Eating significantly less over days or weeks. Avoiding former favorite foods. Saying, "I'm just not hungry" frequently. Losing interest in mealtimes or food preparation. Weight loss without trying. This change is not always a sign to intervene. Sometimes it's the body's natural way of winding down. Gentle action step. Start with empathy, not pressure. Instead of, "You have to eat something," try, "Would you like a few bites of something cool and gentle?" Offer small, soft meals like soup, mashed vegetables, or pudding. High-calorie snacks like banana slices with peanut butter. Protein drinks or smoothies if solids are difficult. Even ice chips or popsicles for hydration and comfort. Above all, keep the mealtime atmosphere warm, unrushed, and loving. It's okay if they only eat a little. The goal isn't calories, it's dignity and care. Because sometimes one shared spoonful says more than words. Sign 5. Subtle breathing changes at rest. We often associate breathing trouble with physical exertion. But when someone begins to breathe differently, even while resting, it can be one of the clearest signs that the body is entering its final phase. Let's talk about Dinesh, 87. He had no major health crises, no recent hospital visits, but his daughter began to notice small things. During their conversations, he would pause more often. Sometimes he'd take shallow breaths or let out long, audible sighs. One evening while watching TV, she heard a pattern, a few quick breaths, followed by a long gap, then another gasp. To her, it felt subtle, almost nothing. To his doctor, it was a sign to take seriously. Why it happens? As the body approaches end of life, both the lungs and heart begin to slow. Breathing may become shallow, irregular, labored, or strangely quiet. This happens because the body is conserving energy. The respiratory system is working differently, less focused on deep oxygen exchange and more on maintaining comfort. Some people may also experience Cheyne-Stokes breathing, a specific rhythm that includes deep breaths, followed by a pause and then shallow breaths. While it can be alarming to hear or watch, it often doesn't cause distress to the person experiencing it. What to watch for? Shallow or irregular breathing while seated or lying down. Audible changes, sighs, gasps, or pauses. Speaking in shorter phrases due to breathlessness. Increasing fatigue after mild activity. Breathing with open mouth even when relaxed. These shifts often go unnoticed, especially if the person isn't complaining, but they matter. Gentle action step. If you notice any of these signs, create a calm, upright resting position with pillows. Keep the air cool and circulating. Speak gently and avoid long conversations if they seem winded. Offer reassurance, take your time, I'm right here. And most importantly, contact a healthcare provider. They can rule out treatable causes like fluid buildup or guide you on palliative care if needed. Because breathing is more than biology. It's rhythm. It's life. And when that rhythm begins to change, it's the body's way of asking for softness, stillness, and presence. You've just learned 5 subtle, but powerful, signs that may indicate a senior is in their final year. And while these signs can feel heavy to acknowledge, they are not meant to spark fear. They are meant to bring awareness, to invite gentleness, and to help families prepare, not panic. Let's quickly revisit what we covered. Withdrawal from daily life. When someone who once loved chatting, laughing, or being involved begins to quietly pull away, that silence could be signaling more than just aging. Rapid physical decline without illness, losing strength or function without a clear medical cause isn't just slowing down. It may be the body letting go in stages. Sudden change in sleep patterns, restless nights, daytime naps, or complete rhythm reversals often point to deeper biological shifts in the body's internal clock. Loss of appetite or taste. When meals lose meaning, it's not always about food. Sometimes it's the body's natural step toward needing less. Breathing changes at rest, subtle shifts in breath, pauses, sighs, or shallowness, often speak when words cannot. These quiet patterns may be the most telling of all. Each of these signs is gentle, soft, almost whispering. That's why so many families miss them, until hindsight makes it clear. But you don't have to miss them. Now you can watch with compassion, listen without panic, support without forcing. It's easy to feel helpless in the face of aging or decline, but knowledge is not just power, it's peace. You now have tools to recognize what might be happening, create comfort without confusion, and walk this chapter with love, presence, and dignity. Because the final year doesn't need to be filled with fear. It can be full of meaning, connection, and quiet strength, if we choose to see the signs. So pause. Reflect. Does any part of this feel familiar? If so, you're not alone. We're walking this road together. Which of these 5 signs surprised you the most? Was there one that reminded you of a loved one, or maybe even yourself? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might help someone else going through the same journey. And if this video gave you clarity, comfort, or something to think about, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We share gentle, research-backed insights every week, designed to help you and your loved ones live with more awareness, peace, and care. Because aging is not the end of the story. It's a chapter worth reading and writing together. Let's build a wiser, kinder community, one conversation at a time.